Hi guys, I know you noticed that I have on the same shirt. Did the first video and I just decided why not do this one. This one's gonna be a little bit more private. This is the first time I'm really telling perfect strangers of my story, in a sense. Yeah, and I know you can tell by the title what this is going to be in regards to. I know you can see that my name is Jamaican Beauty. I was born in Jamaica. From Jamaica. I'm Jamaican. I won't tell you how old I am though. That's for another video. But yeah, so this is my story time. Around the age of 4, 5, my parents would leave me, well, sometimes they would leave me with this girl that lived in our housing scheme. It's like a big, I should say like a big house that was split off into one room, like one room. And I think it was like 4 of them, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure. I won't say her name. Yeah, so when I was 4 or 5, I remember two particular instances. The first instance, I remember being in her house and she gave me crackers. She gave me crackers and she told me to not tell anyone while she was rubbing on my private area. Daisy on cue, barking. And I don't know, how to feel talking about this. I told myself I wasn't gonna cry, but you can't help the emotions that I feel. This happened to me when I was little. She was rubbing on me and then she took me to the bed. And she pulled out my pants. And she told me to lay down on the bed. And then she got on top of me and started to rub her naked body on top of mine. And in that instant, she then told me to hold on to her. I think about it now and I'm just like, really? Just so she can feel pleasure, whatever nasty pleasure from rubbing up against me, a 4-year-old. My heart breaks every time I think about that. And for a while it was so hard for me to yeah, so I had to take a moment. The story is tough, and I thought that I'd be able to do it without crying, but I guess it's okay. It comes with the territory of telling this story. I know I'm a strong person because I've been through so much in my life. You know, I have my daughter now, and I've taught her to let me know and to tell me or her father or anyone that she loves if someone tries to touch her inappropriately. You know, the second part to that situation, me getting molested, the second time, she kind of used me to recruit another little girl in a sense. I remember there was this little girl, I won't say her name either. I remember her, and she was my friend, you know. The molester had both of us in her room, and she was telling me, in a sense, to get the other little girl to take off her clothes, and the other little girl wasn't really sure what was going on. And at the same time that was happening, I guess she heard her uncle, I think it was, coming. This is the molester I'm talking about, and she told us to hide underneath the bed, and we hid underneath the bed because we weren't supposed to be there, and he would have definitely wanted to know why we were there. And I'm sure in her head at that point she didn't want to risk either one of us telling on her. So years had passed, and my family and I moved here from Jamaica. And it's so crazy because I talk to you guys now and I can remember us walking on the tarmac and the flight attendant asking where we're going. I told her, I'm going to foreign. And that was my getaway from her. That was my getaway from her. I only remember one instant of it happening, but who knows how many more times it happened. My grandma, God rest her soul, she was able to get us here, and it got me away from that. I remember some years after that, I told my father, we were outside, and I said it. Yeah, I told him she touched me. She cried on me, and I remember the look in his eyes. But he did ask me why I didn't tell him. I'm sorry. He asked me why I didn't tell him, and I told him because she told me not to tell anyone. And yeah, I didn't tell anyone until we got here. And then it started to warm up more, and I started to tell a few of my friends. I actually told a boyfriend back in high school. And I cried then, just as much as I'm crying now. And about a year or so after my relationship with my high school boyfriend ended, I was dating a guy. And he brought me to, I think it was his mom's house, and we were in the room talking, and I don't know what happened between that time and when this situation happened, but all of a sudden I knew that he pushed me down face first. It was like a pillow around my face, or I was like basically laying on the ground, and there was a pillow there, and he held my arms behind me. Had on a skirt that night. Had on a skirt that night, and he took his knee and in a sense held my legs down, and then after that sat on my legs as the front part of my body was laying on the ground. Proceeded to rape me anally. Yeah. I asked him to stop. I asked him to stop. He eventually did after I screamed, but no one could hear me. There was music playing, and it was playing loud. Yeah, it was playing loud, and eventually stopped, and I ran out, and I thought to myself, it's my fault. I should have never been there. It's my fault, you know. I never really told anyone until years later. I felt like there was some type of shame there. I kept it to myself for a while. And years had passed, and I tried to push it to the back of my mind, because honestly, that's not something you want to think about. and I was in Walmart and I saw him. I was actually on the phone with a friend and I saw him and he saw me, and he had a surprised look on his face because when I ran out of his house that night, he had never seen me again after that. And when I saw him, I felt the worst feeling ever come over me. And I started to have like an outer body experience and hyperventilating, tense up and everything. I tried to do my best to not make eye contact with him, and I hurried, you know, and I only had a few things, so I went through the line quick, and he was in front of me with whoever he was with, and I made sure I walked really slow and stayed on the phone with my friend at the time. And as he walked one way, I walked the other way, and I walked so fast, and that was one of the worst feelings as far as seeing him after so long. You know, I've been able to share my story with a few of my friends that, you know, really care about me. They know what I've gone through. You know, that was hard for me. I've cried to them. Yeah, so I wanted to share this with you guys. To know that I can't physically touch you guys and physically see you, but maybe you guys can become my extended family here. And I just wanted to share this because I know that there's someone watching that has had either one of these situations happen to them and they don't know who to turn to. But if this has happened to you or to someone you love and care about, it's not your fault. None of this is your fault. I thought for a while that the rape was my fault. The molestation it took away a lot. It made me feel confused. And at some point in my life, my parents don't know this, and my brothers don't know this, and now I'm sharing it with everyone. It made me feel like I wanted to be with a girl at one point, even though I had a boyfriend. It does something to your mind. It does something to you, physically, mentally, emotionally. Makes you think things that you shouldn't think. It isn't right. It isn't right, and it wasn't right what they did to me. But I've learned to talk about it, because talking about it helps. Whether it's to a professional, whether it's to a friend, whether it's to family member, it's okay. You're able to grow from this. You're able to live your life as normally as possible. And yeah, if you think about it, They might bring back some emotions, as it's done to me. But it's okay. Nothing is wrong with this emotion. We're human. And unfortunately, there are sick individuals who like to prey on young, innocent children. There are sick men and women out there that like to take away another person's innocence, no matter how old they are. No one has the right to molest a child. No one has the right to rape a woman or a man. It's not okay. I hope that my story has helped someone. If you have any questions, or if you just want to vent or share your story, you can leave, your comments in the comment section. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my story with you all. It's kind of healing in a way. I get to show a little bit more of myself, and you guys get to see a little bit of me and learn a little bit more about me. This isn't the best story, but it's something I wanted to share. So this is where I end this story time. Please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like this video. Leave your comments down below, and maybe we can start a discussion about this. Thanks, guys. Bye.